Ladies and gigawatts, yeah, you see, we've got two active, yes, not one, but two active bass guitars to have a look at. They're powerful, they certainly sound it. And tonight's weapon of choice that we'll be listening to them through should be back here, an Ampeg DR500 something or another, with its matching cabinet. So, yes, I've been having a look at bass strings and bass string things, and certainly it seems that one source of wisdom tells us that if they're a bit grubby or sounding a bit dull, give them a wash. So, the strings on the Westone actually look pretty sharp, but they do look a little bit grubby on the Ibanez. So, we'll see what we can do with this. Yes, it's one of those sonic cleaners. I'll probably have to do one string at a time, I suppose. But first of all, let's have a quick listen to them as they are, and then immediately after do a direct comparison once they've been boiled and sonically zapped. So, quick soundbite on each one first, followed by, after the strings have been zinged, with the Ibanez. Okay, the Westone. And starting with the Ibanez, after it's had its strings zinged. I can't really tell. I won't know until I listen back to them. So, on with the Westone. Forgotten what it was called then. Right, here's a bit of Matsumoku magic. Super. Let's have a look at them. Okay, so starting with the Ibanez, and we'll look from stem to stern. Yeah, rather nice this. I like it. 2002, and it has a, let me have a look at my crib sheet here. So it's got a BTB4 neck. Doesn't tell me a great deal, that I don't suppose, but certainly it is maple and walnut, and because there's maple here, walnut there, maple there, walnut there, maple there, I only assume that's a 5-piece neck. Don't know for certain, can't find any info about that. Again, I'm going to assume that they are Ibanez's own tuners. Very nice they are too, in that kind of nickel finish. And the colour for this one is in trans red, and this is the BTB400 GMTR. Very catchy, I'm sure you'll agree. Rosewood fingerboard, the strings have come up a little bit, and I will put new strings on, but this will be parting company with me at some point, and I know that strings are a very personal choice, especially for you bass guitarists. 24 frets, they are Ibanez's own pickups. Hat bodies, look, I'll tell you what, for a 20-year-old guitar, that ain't half nice. So this is called the Ibanez Monorail Bridge. You've got a 3-band EQ, it's permanently active. You've got a volume control, you've got a blend knob, and the blend knob does have that, you know, those stop. Sorry, you can't even see it there. You just have a look and listen. Hear that click into place there. So that's got a central position that's indicated by that little stop there, as have these other EQ buttons. And this thing, actually, this thing makes it, the sweep on it, you can make it sound like it's got a wah-wah pedal. Very, very clever, very clever EQ on this. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it blends you from, you know, either this pickup to the neck pickup, or you can leave it that little lock stop in between there so that you've got both on at the same time. Very nice indeed. It's a maple cap, as I say, in the trans red, and a basswood body. This cavity plate here contains your I put 2 new batteries in today. Because that's what it takes. It takes 2 square batteries, the PP2s, so 2 little 9 volts, and under here is all original circuitry, which does indeed look like a plumber's nightmare, so thank goodness all that's working okay. Yes, everything works on this, it's absolutely tickety-boo. There's a few little marks on it, but you know, there's a bit of you know, pick marking here, and there probably where somebody's thumb's been, I guess, I don't know. So yeah, all in all though, an absolutely vast range of tones, and that's the construction. Yeah, maple and walnut neck, rosewood fingerboard, basswood body with a maple flamed cap. Have a quick listen to those EQs. Why not? Hang on. Alright, okay, so down a little bit. Can we see it all? Yes. Right, okay, so you've got the volume knob here. The blend knob is here. So that's on the, we're on the bridge pickup at the moment. To the right between the 2. Neck pickup. Alright, so we'll put it directly between the 2 pickups, and we'll have a listen, we'll have a muck about with the EQ. This one. So that's sounds like a treble cut. Out in the centre. And that's a bass boost. Lovely. Right, on to the bass tone. Right, okay, and on to the Westone, and this was made in the Matsumoku factory in 1986. It's still got its original tuners. This is the Thunder I Mark II, and this is identifiable by the bird on the top here, and also the serial number tells us on the back. I don't know if you can see it because the paintwork's, you know, quite sketchy on this one, but certainly it's a 1986 model, which you can identify by the serial number. Whether you'll be able to see that or not, I don't know. But it's all original and everything works, so it's a bit of a survivor. Now, they did these in 3 flavours. I can't think of the third one. Oh yes. So they did it in natural oak, and the natural oak ones had an oak stroke ash body. They did them in black and they did them in red. And the ones with the solid paint jobs, the black and the red ones, had a solid maple body, and it's a solid maple neck with a rosewood fretboard. So this can be played actively or passively, as I say, using these 2 switches. One is a tone boost and one is a preamp oomph giver, if that's not too technical. But before we have a listen to it, let's have a good look at this body, because it's got issues. It doesn't affect playability. In fact, probably out of the 2, if I'm honest, the Ibanez, let's face it, the Ibanez is prettier, but I probably prefer playing this one. It's very, very nice to play, and it's, to my logo, sounds great. Mind you, I mean, you've got that many tones with the Ibanez, gosh, who knows. But, so I'm not a bass player, so, you see. Right, okie dokie. In addition to the 2 switches here, as I say, one is a tone boost and the other one activates the preamp, which gives you more oomph. These pickups are called the hard punch pickups, and of course it does look like P-bass pickups, but you will note the paintwork. So there's either, well, the paint is cracked in many places around here. What's caused that, I can't imagine at all, but you'll see if I can get this into the right light. There's plenty of scratches, plenty of cracks in it, and some previous owner has decided to try and cover the cracks up with, well, what looks like, I can't imagine what kind of paint it is, but it looks matte, and it actually looks a bit like anti-vandal paint, if I'm honest. Now, the brass bridge arrangement, although it does look tarnished, I did try a little bit of wire wool just in one area here, and certainly you could, given the time, bring it up to look absolutely spanky and golden. All of the little grub screws work, so as you can raise and lower the action as desired. I think it's probably about where it should be, and I reckon for a bass guitar the action is low on this. It's very, very easy to play, and I've tried it all the way up the fretboard on every string. There's no buzzing, there's no choking, it plays beautifully. Around the back, yeah, similar story with the paintwork really. It's had a hard life, but of course it's an old lad, isn't it, you know. And the neck plate does tell us, of course, that it's from the Matsumoku factory, if you can read it through the rust and pitting. You know, again, it is what it is. I suppose that you could get all the chrome off and just shiny up the steel underneath it, which might well look nicer. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. But yeah, all in all, I love it. So let's have a quick listen to it. Alright, so this one also has this bottom knob here, which says bot on it. So B, I assume, is bass, T, I assume, is treble, and O is off. Don't know, maybe other, something like that. So let's have a listen to the EQ first in a passive way. Well, that certainly adds more bass. Blinking heck. And that's certainly clunky. How are you with that? Alright, let's set that into the off position, and we'll start with the tone boost, and then the active circuit. I'll tell you what, that is a proper window rattler. It sounds weird, doesn't it, without those on? So, there we go. That's both of those. So, in conclusion, I hope that you found that useful if you are in the market for an active bass. And by active, I don't mean one that goes running, cycling or swimming. No, one with active preamp circuitry in it. So whether you go for either the Japanese Matsumoku made Westone with its hard punch pickup, or the Ibanez BTB series with the Bartolini designed Ibanez branded pickups with that fabulous range of EQ options on board there, well, the choice is really very much yours, of course. And both of these guitars do crop up on the used market fairly frequently, and of course you can buy them for an absolute fraction of the cost of what you would pay for a new one. But what I would say is this: my main piece of advice, if you are after one of these, is make sure that everything works before you part with any money. So, with all of that said, I shall bid you a fond farewell, and thank you all ever so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Adios amigos. Ta-ra.